Florida Star, speaking truth to power.
This is Opio. I am sitting in with
Vanessa Davis.
and we got a wonderful, wonderful show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about businesses and some cool little things that goes on that some of you probably just don't know about right here in Jacksonville. I got my man Michael Cobb, and he's the organizer of the Taste of the Holidays, an event that they just had in Regency Mall. How you doing, sir?
Doing good.
Tell us a little bit about you. You homeboy?
Yes, I am. Born and raised here in Jacksonville. Lived in Sherwood Forest
Sherwood.
back in the day, and graduated Ribault Trojan class of 1981.
I used to live on Norfolk Boulevard when I was a kid.
Wow, small.
Where you walk outside every day is an adventure in Sherwood. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this event. The Florida Star was a media sponsor of this event. They had vendors, they had a fashion show, but they had food and some incredibly good food. And what kind of got me was how classy the whole deal was. Everything was high scale, wonderful presentations, just incredible. Tell us a little bit about the process and who the people are and what is the Taste of the Holidays.
Well, the process was to kick off the holiday season before it started. And I wanted to capture the moment with local businesses because at the end of the day, people are going to be doing shopping at these large retailers. So the whole concept was to bring small businesses, to give them exposure, and then at the same token, the chefs. Because during the holiday season, most people know when you have guests from out of town, guess what you go do? You go eat at different restaurants. So the whole key was to give these restaurants some exposure. And a lot of people are not aware, some of those restaurants, one is a chef right now. He said he needed that moment, Chef Green. Another restaurant, Annalise Bakery, had just opened up 3 months ago. So the whole key was to give all these restaurants opportunity, exposure, and you know people love eating during the holiday season.
Now, I know you got some real good questions because, see, Miss Vanessa here is an actual business owner, and she has the type of business that we saw there.
Yes, I saw all kinds of pictures. It looked wonderful. The event looked lively, and it looked like a great success. So my question was, when is your next meeting or when is your next event from your professional group?
So I want to put this spin. Me and my wife have a boutique that's in the Jacksonville Landing. So we're thinking about doing a Mother's Day type of a fashion show. I got to collaborate with her. And, you know, putting events together, it's a lot of time involved. But I'm looking at possibly in May to do a mother's daughter fashion show and then bring some local chefs and do vendors like I did before as well.
Talk about some of the vendors that you had there.
Well, one of the vendors was Premier Coast Realty. They're a young Afro-American owned business, real estate company, and he actually owns a real estate school. I had attorney Christine. She's an attorney here on the First Coast, Hope for Housing, and a host of other vendors. So Premier Coast Realty, he was my first sponsor, and I said, okay, it's time to move forward. Then I had Vision Quest. He's a young photographer, Sheridan Garrett. He's a young photographer here in Jacksonville who's launching his camera business for his being a photographer. And so the connections, he actually texted me last night, and he said, Mike, I got several leads out of that one event.
Let me tell you guys what hit me close to home. Well, they had a fashion show, and he told me that there was one of the sisters that was a model in the fashion show that they brought in, and they did an absolutely wonderful thing for the sister. Tell us about that story.
Well, it was a young lady, and she went through domestic abuse, and then my wife said, you know what, I want to put her in the fashion show. And she transformed on that stage, and it was just fabulous. And my wife, who owns a boutique in the Jacksonville Landing called Accentuate, she worked with this young lady, and we just made her evening by her putting on these clothes, and she transformed on that stage that evening.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, as a young entrepreneur in the Jacksonville area, how can I get involved with the DB Professional Group?
Downtown Business Professional Group. We meet once a month at the River Club. You can check out the website, downtownbusinessprofessionalgroup.com. My next speaker is the former Jaguar player, Donovan Darius. Prior to that, I recently had Marilyn Curry. So you could just check out my website, and I'll send you some information regarding the breakfast. We meet once a month, the last Tuesday of the month, and we bring like-minded professionals like the Taste of Jacksonville to help grow, our business by making connection with people here in Jacksonville.
I had an outside question. Didn't have anything to do with your event, but I just did some research. What is your connection to the Zero Race?
Oh, the Zero Race, we actually collaborate with them through the Downtown Business Professional Group, and we partner with them, helping them raise funds. And it's kind of funny, we actually partnered with them this year. I connected her with a gentleman who he's account executive for the ice hockey, Iceman. True story. She came to the breakfast. I connected him with the person from the Iceman hockey team. And what they did by meeting Dr. Ali and Lori Batts, portions of the ticket sales for their first game went to the Zero Cancer Run. And through the connection of the Downtown Business Professional Group, they did a promo at the game talking about the Zero Cancer Run. And that's the power of connection through the Downtown Business Group.
Now, the Downtown Business Group, tell us a little bit more about that. Is it something that if somebody joined that group, their business can get certain types of help? What kind of group is it?
Well, it's a group that's connected with top business leaders. This breakfast coming up this month, I want to kick off the holiday season. So everybody who's a part of the business group get to set up a free vendor table. So when guests arrive, they get to network with the different vendors. Through my wife's business, Accentuate, guess what? Ladies going to be buying handbags. Somebody's going to be out there buying a new home when it comes to the real estate market. So that day will be kicking off the holiday season, very similar to the Taste of Jacksonville, where I'm reaching out to certain people who's part of the business group who have a retail business, and I want members of the group to connect with one another. And through the organization, the format, if you have a business, you give another business owner a discount. And that's how we drive traffic to one another when it comes to different businesses who's a part of the group.
Wow. So my question now is, if you weren't doing this, if you weren't doing the professional business group and helping your wife, what would you be doing to make an impact?
I think that's a great question, Vanessa. Probably, and I'm going to spin it back, I'll probably be doing this here. I just have a calling in my life to help businesses. And give you this example. I had a gentleman who's Afro-American, black gentleman, true story. He's been trying to get the Duval County school bus contract for 10 years. Guess who comes to the breakfast? Dr. Vitti. I introduced him to Dr. Vitti. Dr. Vitti pointed him to another person. He has 5% of that contract for Duval County School Board.
Now, this is what we're supposed to be talking about right here. Right here. This is it. And this is what our politicians get in trouble about. Any politician that really focus on those percentages, really focusing on black people getting their share of the pie, they end up getting in trouble. Why? Because money talks. But we only get in trouble when we don't stick together and we're not intelligent and we're not passing around information. And, so this is a good thing. Now, the person, you done got them peaked up because there are a lot of people, they join JSEB, a part of the, or the state, and they register with them. And a lot of times they just don't get any business. But I always say, well, a lot of times, that you might be looking at in the wrong pot, or you might have to spread yourself around a little bit, and don't just look at the if you got all the paperwork straight enough to do that, put that type of paperwork in. You can get a lot of private work as well, but it is the networking and being in groups like yours that make this stuff happen, right?
You know the power of networking. People underestimate the power of network. And you heard it before. It's not what you have, it's who you know. What sets us apart from other organizations in Jacksonville, every speaker has been a CEO. From the president of the Jaguars to Mayor Lenny Curry, past Mayor Alvin Brown, Senator Aaron Bean. The organization is going to connect you with the who's who of Jacksonville once a month.
Now, tell me this. Black Friday is coming up, and I'm hearing these things on these commercials say pro-Black Fridays, and boy, I love to hear pro and black at the same time. Now, that is the time where a lot of people make a lot of their money. But we want to make sure black businesses get a little bit of that. What can we do to make it look like it's not forced, where black people go out, and not just black people, but white people and everybody go out and spend their money with black businesses?
I think what you should do when it comes to that is put the best product out.
Right.
You put the best product out, we know people can go to Dillard's, they're going to go to Belk's. Say, for instance, you're a retail business. Be able to compete with these businesses for a price point and then value. And if you can do those two things, you're going to drive foot traffic to your business.
Excellent tip, and I'm excited to hear a lot of this pro-black Friday and Shopping Small Saturday as well coming up for the Thanksgiving Day holiday. Just a side question, does your wife have any deals coming up, do you know of, for this coming up shopping weekend?
Thank you. Appreciate you putting that plug in. We have buy one, get one half off during the holiday season. Buy one, get one. And we located in Jackson Lane. Now, he mentioned that he went to the Taste of Holiday. When you walk into my wife's boutique, you're going to think you're in California or New York. It doesn't set the standard like you at the Jacksonville Landing. People walk past my wife's boutique, they come back, they want to know where she get the lamps from.
Right.
And so when it comes to, once again, it's showcasing what you have wherever you are. And definitely come down, check us out, tell us you heard about us on the radio station, and we'll put you in a nice drawing for a handbag or a jewelry set. But we will have buy one, get one half off during this the holiday season coming up.
Kwanzaa is coming up, and what the number of the Kwanzaa principles are directly aligned with what we're talking about right now. Right, we're talking about self-determination, but Kwanzaa is one of those things that we're talking about. Economics is Kwanzaa one of the avenues that you believe can get certain types of people buying and purchasing and continue to buy and purchase?
Yeah, yes, I do believe that, because I do believe in Kwanzaa as well. And so once again, it's a mirror once again to drive foot traffic to black businesses, and so what you should do is research that and see what would be ideal to sell to bring in the foot traffic regarding that. And we're going to have items in the store that relates to that as well.
Now, I saw you guys had a number of different types of vendors. Like you had mentioned a lawyer, but y'all had a singer that was there. What made you guys do singing, because there was some singing there, a fashion show, and food all at the same time? Or is it something that you've seen before and felt like you wanted to replicate?
Well, actually, God gave me the vision. Once again, it's about the product. And I was telling my wife after the event, no one left early. Everybody stayed to the end. I mean, they enjoyed the food. I feel right now what God has blessed me with, I'm not competing against anybody in Jacksonville. I had a friend who participated in an event last year. Recently, he said, Mike, what you're doing, this is what you do in Atlanta. So I just want to do something fresh, something new, and something inspiring. So once again, the singer, through my wife's boutique, everybody, most businesses, the key thing they need is exposure, exposure, exposure. And I want to do it in a professional setting and have the right people to draw business to those different businesses around Jacksonville.
And there you have it. Let us get your information again. People want to get in contact with you guys. People want to be a part of what you're doing. People want to give money to you so they can be to get the type of exposure or be a part of the networking. Where they need to go.
Definitely go check out my website, downtownbusinesspg.com, downtownbusinesspg.com. Also, you can call me on my cell, 904-625-7937, 904-625-7937.
All right. You have any final words, Miss Vanessa?
I hope to see you all out at the Mellon Market, Real Black Friday, and some other events around town for Small Business Saturday.
All right, and y'all continue to pray for Corrine Brown. She was also at this event, the Taste of the Holidays, and she made sure that we were there and that we were supporting it as well. So y'all make sure y'all keep her in your prayers, because a woman like that should never even think about having to go to prison. All right, this is Opio. Make sure y'all continue to pick up the copy of the Florida Star newspaper. Check us out on Star TV 18.2. There's no better programming on all of Jacksonville. All right, we'll see you next time on Impact.
Impact.